Good morning and welcome to another conscious conversation. Today we're going to address some questions that a client of mine sent yesterday. And I'm just going to read them out to you first, and then we'll go back and talk about each one. So she says, fall has a way of dredging up time lost feeling. How do I stop? First question, how do I stop second guessing decisions I made in the past? Second question, how do I get past the coulda, shoulda, woulda thoughts I have? And third question is, why does your mind dredge up paths you could have taken but didn't, only to make you feel like a failure? Okay, so let's go back up to the first question. How do I stop second guessing decisions I made in the past? So when we read that question, if you have questions, say you have questions that are going around in your mind, I encourage you to write them down and then reread them from the perspective of the outsider or the silent observer looking at a question that the ego voice is asking. So how do I is a word that the ego voice will use. Me, myself, I, my life. How do I, me? So it's not it's not her consciousness wanting to know this. It's her ego voice wanting to know this. Stop second guessing decisions I made in the past. So the ego voice is creating a drama inside her head where it is replaying decisions. It's in the past room. It's in there talking about the past. This is the decision that I made. Was that the right decision? So I want you to see it up on stage, and it's, this was the decision I made. And then see another aspect of it on the stage with it being like, maybe I shouldn't have made that decision. Maybe what could have happened to me, or how could my life path have gone if I had only chosen this and chosen that? And now see yourself as the silent observer, knowing that none of that matters. All of that is a drama. All of that, none of that is real. And all of that is a distraction from your present moment. All of that is a power play to get you sucked into the story going on in your head where you miss the life you're in right now. So see yourself in the seat. The mind is asking the question. And it took her over enough that she's listening to this dialogue and drama going on the stage between her mind and her mind. Oh God, well, here's the past and here's what happened. And if I'd have made this choice, then I could have gotten further along in this and this and this. And then maybe I could have made more of an identity for myself. And maybe I could have gotten stronger and fed. That's all the ego is wanting to know anyway. Maybe if I'd have caused her to make different decisions, then I could have built myself up even more. If I'd have gone down this path or that path, then my identity would have been strengthened instead of weakened like it is right now. I'm getting weaker, and I know that. So now I'm creating a drama about that. The ego voice is not being fed by an external situation or getting attention from some accomplishment. So it's replaying, and now mad at itself. It's having a drama with itself. Oh, I should have made her do this and that, and I should have made her choose this and that, and if I would have let her this way, then maybe I could have gotten more for myself. Maybe I could be bigger now. Maybe I could be more impressive and more admired and more something. It wants to be more something. So the thing that is second guessing decisions that it made in the past is your ego voice. Your ego voice is feeling diminished, and now it's kind of attacking itself on the stage in the drama in your mind, saying, well, maybe if I would have done it differently, and now I'm at it now, well, here's a drama for us. And if you are thinking you are it, and you're buying into the story, and you're up there on the stage with it as your consciousness, by giving it your full attention, being taken over by it, thinking that is you that's wondering those things, now it's feeding off of that. It'll feed off of anything. It doesn't matter. Your attention, the attention of others through accomplishments or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's getting fed. So it is going to do that. So the question was, how do I stop? So if you want to know if your consciousness is wanting that to stop, your consciousness doesn't care, but it's not going to. The best way for it to stop is to stop feeding it your conscious attention. It's just going to do that. It's going to come up with dramas to play out because it gets bored. There's no external situation to feed it anymore, so it's got to create an internal problem, an imaginary problem. So let's go into the past that doesn't even exist anymore. Let's look at things that happened there. Let's look at let's make up something to be upset about, to cause an upset, to cause emotion, to cause some feeling. We need to feel something to cause some feeling in the body. What can we do? Well, we can go in the past. If nothing's happening in the now, and it doesn't look like anything's going to happen in the future, have nothing to be excited about, so I guess we should go in the past room. So the advice to the consciousness around this question is to just silently observe it. Just watch it. Don't feed into it. Know it's not you. See yourself out in the movie seats watching it have its drama on the stage. Sit there, eat your popcorn, silently observe it. Don't give into it. Don't buy into the story. And as you're separating out and you're just watching it, trying to get your attention by going into the past and having an argument with itself about, well, I should have played it this way, and then maybe we could be bigger and better and more and more powerful. Just watch it, and then switch your focus to just your breath. Breathe with it. You're still hearing it talk. You're still hearing it second guess itself. You just breathe in and out. Be with it while it's second guessing itself. And then turn your attention to the room you're sitting in, or maybe you're outside. Turn your attention to that. Give that some attention. Breathe in and out with the room you're in. And then you'll hear it in the background, and you can go back to it and breathe in and out with it. Be with it. And then that energy, as you do that, every time you have a conscious breath and you just be with it as it's having its drama on the stage, you are getting stronger and it is getting weaker. It will figure out that doesn't get you anymore. That doesn't cause you to come inside and get on the stage with it anymore. You don't care about that anymore. You actually have let that go. It's not your concern. Question 2. How do I get past the coulda, shoulda, woulda thoughts I have. So, if you listen to the answer to question 1, you'll know that that's the ego up on the stage saying, I coulda, I shoulda, I woulda, if I would've, if I'd only. Again, it's the same thing. The second guessing decisions, the coulda, woulda, shoulda thoughts. Those thoughts belong to the ego voice. Thinking if I'd only played it differently, then I wouldn't be feeling so diminished right now. The fact that it's feeling diminished right now and having that type of, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time to build myself up bigger and bigger and bigger. It's actually a very positive thing that's happening for your consciousness, because your consciousness is getting stronger and it is getting weaker, and so it's like has this urgency behind it because it's attached to, this is the body I'm in, and the body is getting older, and I've only have so much time to use this body, so I need to hurry up and figure out something to feed myself and to make some big thing to happen that will carry me through to the end of my life. And if I get that big thing, that big accomplishment, I'll know I've made it, and then I will, can just live off of that accomplishment for the rest of my days. And that's not true either. It only feeds off of, even the greatest accomplishment, it can only feed off of it for so long. It only lasts for so long, and then it has the memory, and it will relive the memory, but then that starts to fade, and then it will need another one. It will need another accomplishment. So it's the thought that, I coulda, I shoulda, I woulda. So I regret not controlling her in this way and making her do this and making her do that, and then my life could be so different. Question 3. Why does your mind dredge up paths that you could have taken but didn't, only to make you feel like a failure? Same thing. It's saying, I could have, if I'd have only gone down this path. It's trying to get an emotion stirred up. That's what it does. It needs to feel something. And it will use, because that's what it feeds off of, that feeling, that emotion. That's what makes it say, I'm in control and I'm alive because I caused this feeling. And you're in there as your consciousness, you're in there with it, you feel it too, and it feels horrible, it's suffering. And you're like, I don't want to feel this. So just breathe with it. It doesn't care what it feels. It just wants to feel something. It wants to have some experience. It would rather feel excitement. It has its preference. But an emotion's an emotion. So it's mad at itself because it thinks I should have took a different path, and then I could be greater and bigger. I could be more significant and get more attention from the world, or I could feel pride, and I could feel satisfaction, and I could feel contentment, and even if it did get to feel those things, it would only be for a brief period of time, and then it would need to dredge up another feeling, which is the whole point of separating from the madness of that. The having to generate feelings constantly, good or bad, doesn't matter to the ego voice. I've got to cause a drama in here. Life is too boring. It's not stimulating to me. Sitting in nature is not stimulating, so I need to be talking and thinking and analyzing and distracting and wanting and needing and thinking and wanting life to be different than it is. It's never enough. It's never okay. And it's madness. And if you stay connected to it, if you continue to engage with it, then you're at its mercy. And it wants it that way because then it's in control. Then it can get more feelings. It can get you to take actions out in the world and make bigger messes that it can cause bigger dramas about. So all of those questions going on is a sign that it's diminished. It's being diminished, which is a positive thing for your consciousness, because your consciousness has a chance now to get stronger. Through its getting weaker, it can get stronger. It's painful when it starts to get weaker because it gets louder and more demanding, more whiny, more, oh, now I've got to reevaluate everything now. Like, let's get in here in the past room, and I mean, there's nothing, I can't create a problem out of anything in my now moment because nothing's going on, and I just don't even know, I mean, I don't have much future, so, you know, I better go in the past and just get myself all worked up and generate emotion from that. I can generate a lot of emotions from the past. There's a lot of things that I made this person do, that I overtook this consciousness and made them do. And there's plenty of things I can point out and cause suffering over, and then they get engaged with the feelings of guilt. They don't want to feel that guilt, and I know they don't want to feel that guilt, so that'll really get her in here on this stage, because she's going to try to fix it for me. That's what we do. Oh, oh, there's pain, there's suffering. We've got to fix it. That's what the ego voice says. We've got to fix it. If you hear the word fix in your head, that is a very big sign the ego voice is talking and you are sucked in. It causes the problem and then demands that you fix it, and then gives you suggestions on how to fix it, which then only creates more problems, and then on and on and on you go. That's how it generates its fuel, its food, through that little cycle right there. Don't engage, don't react, just silently observe. And I know that it can be difficult to silently observe when a lot of suffering is being generated inside, because you feel that. Breathe with the discomfort. Don't try to fix the discomfort. Don't try to calm the discomfort. Don't try to get relief from the discomfort. Just be with the discomfort. Allow the discomfort. We have become so convinced that discomfort is wrong, is bad. And discomfort is being generated by that ego voice. I'm not sure what that pop was in the audio just now. Discomfort is created by it dying, getting weaker. So discomfort is actually a positive sign, even though we don't like it, even though it doesn't feel good, and our ego convinces us to fix it, to calm it, to get relief for it, which then fuels it. Allow the discomfort. Welcome the discomfort. Welcome that emotional discomfort, the panic, the the feelings of fear, welcome it, consciously welcome it, consciously accept it, consciously allow it, consciously be with it, breathe in and out with it. And every time you do that, your consciousness and your ability to stay conscious and out of the madness, out of the suffering, in life, being with life, gets stronger and stronger. Every time you don't fix it, like the ego voice will have you do, fix it and fix it fast and fix it now, and here's what you're going to do to fix the problem that I created. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, we better fix this. This don't feel good. Yeah, let's fix it. No, don't fix it. That's what it wants. It's telling you to fix it because it's being diminished. And consciously, this is a very positive thing. Let the ego voice be diminished. Every time it's diminished and you feel that discomfort inside of you, that is an opportunity for it to get weaker and you to get stronger, which means it does not have the power to lull you back to sleep with its soap opera, with its drama. About success and failure. And I need to be this, and I should have been that. It feeds off of accomplishments. It feeds off of attention. It feeds off of greatness. It feeds off of, it will even use this practice. Oh, there's power? There's power that's going to be flowing through? Oh, I'll take that. Okay, well, I'll let her, practice this consciousness thing just enough that I can take back over and create an identity out of it. And then you're walking around with a spiritual ego, judging everybody else that's not, oh, look how unconscious they are. If you're having that thought and you are saying that out loud, you are also unconscious because that your ego voice just spoke out through you. And it will think that all the time. When you learn what, it will have that thought. It will say that thought in your head all the time, comparing people, trying to see if they're conscious or not conscious. It suddenly becomes the expert on consciousness. Your ego voice does. Because it's watching. Just like you're watching it, it's watching you. It sees everything you see, hears everything you hear. I hope answering these questions has helped. And if any of you have any questions, I welcome those as well. And I had to listen to my ego voice when I got the questions. It became very excited because it thought, oh, I'll get to be the one who answers these questions, and then I will get to be the one who knows, and now I have an identity of the expert or the one who knows. So it tries to take credit for or claim anything and everything that comes out into the world. So be careful on this path. Always be alert for it, even when you do learn how to be conscious of it and recognize its voice and be aware of what it will say. Always alert, always conscious. Anytime it's thinking, wanting, needing, that's it. If you're silently observing, that's your consciousness. And we always want action to come from practicing being. We want to do a lot more being than we do acting. Doing things out in the world. Which is why I'm being very alert and conscious and careful with the YouTube platform, as my ego can get really, and has in the past, wanted to use social media to grow itself, to grow its identity, to grow, to feed off of it, to feed off the attention, to feed out, to make a name for itself. So I want to always do my best to make sure I'm grounded in being and only pointing out what it does and not allow it to speak through me. Which is, when you practice being and you're still, there is a stillness that begins to happen. Then those words come out of that stillness instead of out of the busyness of the mind. And they have the ability to point towards the ego voice and to free others from the ego voice and the power that it has. Thank you for being with me today. Me and Lovey. And I look forward to being with you again.